Ones that had set Klingon and humans against one another, began to unravel. Key contributions from both sides proved because of their vicious efficiency and predatory nature, the Klingon were a race that was dreaded throughout the cosmos. When they set their sights on humans, they saw them as easy prey and underestimated the tenacity and resourcefulness of their chosen victims. Their reptilian appearance and superior hunting abilities made them formidable adversaries. They thrived on the excitement of the hunt and frequently targeted weaker species to establish their dominance. The original motivation for hunting humans was simple: to assert their superiority and expand their domain with little resistance. The Klingon launched brutal attacks on human colonies situated in remote parts of the galaxy. Their assaults were swift and merciless, leaving devastation in their wake. Settlements were razed and survivors were few, spreading tales of horror and despair. The Klingon reputation grew as colonies fell one after another to their savage onslaught. They relished the fear they instilled, believing their dominance was unchallenged. Human colonies were thrown into chaos as the Klingon attacks intensified. Fear and desperation spread among the colonists who struggled to comprehend the relentless nature of their attackers. Families were torn apart. Entire communities were decimated. The psychological toll was immense, with survivors haunted by memories of the brutal hunts that in this atmosphere of despair. A few key individuals emerged. Military leaders, scientists, and tacticians, all determined to turn the tide against the Klingon. Unbeknownst to the Dominion, humanity had not been idle. A covert military faction known only as the Starfleet had been preparing for such a threat for years. Comprised of elite soldiers, scientists, and engineers, the Starfleet had developed advanced stealth and weaponry technology in secret. Their arsenal included cloaking devices, energy-based weapons, and sophisticated drones designed for both combat and reconnaissance. The faction's readiness was the result of meticulous planning and foresight, ensuring they could defend humanity against even the most formidable foes. The Starfleet initiated its plans the moment the Dominion began their strikes. Using their cutting-edge technologies, the first counterstrike was a masterclass in surprise and strategy. Humans attacked Dominion hunting groups in coordinated strikes using cloaked ships to slip into Romulan territory and launch precise surgical attacks that left their forces stunned and disoriented. The Dominion, used to uncontested dominance, were thrown into chaos. What they had dismissed as weak resistance now revealed an unexpected and formidable opponent. Energy weapons cut through Romulan armor effortlessly. Combat drones outmaneuvered the alien hunters, providing critical support. The hunters became the hunted. Panic swept through the Dominion ranks. The balance of power began to shift. Humanity, though late to arrive, came prepared. The Dominion's astonishment and confusion upon facing technologically superior humans was clear. After the shock of the human counterstrike wore off, the Klingon regrouped. Their next waves were more organized, more brutal. The conflict between mankind and the Romulans escalated rapidly, with both sides preparing for a long, grueling war. To counter human advancements, the Dominion adapted. They developed sophisticated tracking systems and revised their assault strategies. Every battle pushed the limits. Every engagement raised the stakes. The cost and lives mounted. Human colonies fortified themselves, but the relentless Romulan pressure pushed them to the edge. In Vulcan, one pivotal battle, a human commander led a daring raid on a Romulan supply line, using cloaked ships to bypass enemy defenses. The mission was a stunning success, disrupting Klingon logistics and halting their forward momentum. In another incident, a small human outpost, outnumbered and surrounded, held off a Klingon assault using automated turrets and advanced drones. It was a brilliant display of tactical ingenuity. Moments of heroism shone through soldiers sacrificing themselves to protect their comrades and secure key victories. As the war raged on, the Klingon found themselves baffled. Human intelligence and adaptive technology continued to surprise them, shifting the tide in battle after battle. But something darker was unfolding. Human analysts began detecting strange inconsistencies in Romulan communications and strategy. Subtle anomalies, patterns that didn't make sense. Slowly, the unsettling truth emerged. The possibility of an external manipulator. Someone or something was pulling the strings. Encrypted messages hinted at an ancient race, once spoken of only in legend. A force older than either humanity or the Dominion. A puppeteer behind the war. That truth revealed itself during a fierce battle between human and Romulan forces. A massive alien warship emerged from hyperspace, its very presence halting the fight. Both sides stood still, staring in awe and terror. The ancient race made contact. Their message was chilling. They had orchestrated the feed. Conflict manipulated both humanity and the Dominion to weaken them for their own gain. Suddenly, the war had a new face. What was once a brutal two-sided conflict became something far more terrifying. Faced with this greater threat, humans and Dominion found themselves forced into an uneasy alliance. The enemy they had fought with hatred and blood was now their only hope for survival. And so began a new chapter in the fight for existence. One where predators and prey stood side by side against a force beyond anything they had ever imagined. Representatives from both sides met in a neutral area during the tense negotiations between humans and the Romulans, with each camp bringing its own set of demands and complaints. While the Romulans, represented by tough warriors, were skeptical of humanity's past cruelty, the humans, led by seasoned diplomat General Skywalker, were weary of the Romulans' history of violence. A clever mistrust hovered in the air, and neither side was willing to share their resources or tactics. Important individuals who promoted cooperation surfaced, such as Klingon strategist Worf, who regarded the Union as a necessary evil to secure their survival, and Captain Picard, who had personally witnessed the advantages of unity in prior conflicts. Opposition, however, came from hardliners on both sides, those hesitant to let go of past grudges. Despite the difficulties, an agreement was compelled by the urgency of the ancient race's threat. The initial coordinated operations were carefully prepared, combining the Dominion's military experience with human technological prowess. The Allied forces launched a series of well-orchestrated strikes against the strongholds of the ancient race. As the operations progressed, moments of cooperation emerged. For example, in a crucial mission to disable a powerful ancient weapon, humans and Dominion fought side by side, their combined efforts leading to a hard-won victory. Still, friction tainted the early operations. Trust did not come easily, resulting in misunderstandings and nearly catastrophic mistakes. In one pivotal engagement, human and Romulan fleets carried out a bold plan to outflank and destroy a heavily fortified ancient outpost. Human tactical ingenuity combined with the Klingons' brute strength and resilience resulted in a decisive victory that changed the course of the conflict. Major battles against the ancient race demonstrated the alliance's increasing effectiveness. Though not without internal strife, these battles not only revealed the strength of their combined forces, but also encouraged a growing relationship between humans and Dominion. Fighters from both sides began to respect and even rely on one another. Initial mistrust slowly gave way to mutual respect, but then betrayal. A senior Romulan officer was discovered to have secretly conspired with the ancient species, undermining a crucial mission and causing substantial casualties. The revelation shook the Alliance to its core, breeding fresh distrust and uncertainty. General Skywalker and Commander Spock worked tirelessly to uncover the traitor and rebuild confidence among the ranks. The impact of the betrayal was severe, nearly unraveling the Alliance's efforts. Yet, ironically, it strengthened the resolve of those committed to unity. The stage was now set for the final encounter with the ancient race. Dominion and humans, driven by purpose and survival, stood ready to confront their common foe and to settle their internal strife once and for all. The Human-Romulan alliance launched a full-scale assault on the enemy's central stronghold. It was the culmination of everything they had fought for. The combined might of advanced human technology and the ferocity of Romulan warriors was on full display. Coordinated strikes targeted the ancient race's defensive systems while ground. Forces engaged in brutal close-quarters combat. The stakes were monumental. The fate of both civilizations hung in the balance. Explosions rocked the battlefield. The air vibrated with the deafening sounds of warfare. Strategic brilliance from human commanders and relentless charges by Romulan fighters began to turn the tide. The decisive moment came when a joint strike team infiltrated the enemy's command center, planting charges that crippled their control systems. With their leadership in disarray, the ancient race faltered. Their manipulative schemes, the critical, human engineers disabled essential defenses, while Romulan warriors led fearless charges that shattered enemy lines. Caught off guard by the tenacity and coordination of their enemies, the ancient race fell one by one. The aftermath of the battle was a scene of devastation and triumph. Survivors from the Alliance stood amidst the wreckage, their immediate reactions a mix of relief and exhaustion. Cheers of victory echoed through the air, mingled with the somber recognition of the lives lost in the conflict. In the resolution, leaders from both humans and Dominion came together to formalize their newfound partnership. Agreements were made to ensure mutual support and cooperation moving forward. The respect and understanding forged in the fires of battle were now the foundation of peace. Hostilities between the two,